Archangel Michael says, something incredible is about to happen in your bank account, that if you skip you lost it. Listen carefully. There is a quiet stirring in the heavens, and it reaches down into the depths of your heart, whispering that change is near, that the shift you've been waiting for is closer than it has ever been. You might not see it with your eyes yet, and the world around you may still look ordinary, but behind the scenes, a divine orchestration is unfolding, touched by the hand of the Almighty, guided by the love of Jesus Christ, and carried on the wings of angels. This message, wrapped in warmth and truth, is not just a gentle reminder but a sacred confirmation for the weary heart that God has not forgotten you, and the breakthrough you have been praying for is already in motion. It is not about the numbers in your bank account or the zeros that define your balance, but about the abundance of God's grace that flows in invisible currents, preparing a path where none existed before. You have cried in silence, hidden your pain behind smiles, and tried to remain faithful even when your faith felt worn thin. Still, you did not give up. That alone is enough to shake the heavens, to move angels, and to summon miracles on your behalf. Because when you choose faith in the silence, when you still thank God in the drought, heaven hears you louder than ever. Type Amen if you believe. There are doors opening that you cannot see right now, opportunities that are being aligned with your life, blessings that are being whispered into being because you dared to keep believing. You were never walking alone, even when your footsteps felt heavy. Jesus was beside you, quietly mending your wounds, picking up every broken piece, and carrying them close to his heart. In those moments when you thought your prayers were going unanswered, they were being planted like seeds deep in the soil, protected and nurtured until the time was right for them to bloom. That time is closer than you think. In the stillness of early morning when the world sleeps, God leans in and gathers every tear you shed. He keeps them, not to remember your sorrow, but to water the very ground your miracle will grow from. He is not slow to answer, but deliberate and perfect in his timing, ensuring that when the blessing arrives, your heart will be ready to carry it, protect it, and give him all the glory it deserves. The struggles, the setbacks, and the delays were not punishments, but preparation. You were being shaped, molded, and strengthened not for survival, but for overflow. And now, the shift is coming. That long-awaited yes, that divine deposit, that sudden provision, it is not a fantasy or wishful thinking, but a heavenly promise that carries weight. God is not limited by numbers, economic systems, or earthly lack. He owns the cattle on 1,000 hills, and his treasury never runs dry. What he is about to do in your life will not only settle what you owe, but will heal places in your heart you didn't know needed healing. It will arrive with such peace that you will know it came only from him. What if the fastest path to wealth was already inside your mind, waiting to be activated by a powerful sound wave? Scientists call it the money-attracting frequency, and once awakened, it begins drawing opportunities, success, and financial freedom like never before. Imagine the relief of no more bills and the joy of living your dreams. This is more than an offer, it is a divine turning point. Your destiny is waiting, but only if you choose to move now. Click the link in the video description and comments below to turn on this ancient brain wave today. You do not have to figure it all out. You don't need to understand the how. You just need to stay near to Jesus, keep your spirit soft, and let faith be the light in your tunnel. The bank account you have now is not the final chapter. The worry that has haunted you about bills, about needs, about not having enough, God is erasing it with His provision. He is writing a new page, one where there is more than enough. One where you do not only receive, but you are able to give, to bless, and to lift others from their valley. God sees how you've helped others even when your own hands were empty. He remembers the moments when you gave out of lack, when you shared your last without expecting anything in return. These are the moments heaven treasures. These are the acts that are repaid in ways you cannot imagine. The blessings that are coming your way are not random, but a harvest from seeds you forgot you even planted. Because God does not forget. He honors sacrifice. He rewards humility. He lifts the faithful. It's not just about the finances, though that is part of it. It's about what the breakthrough will do to your spirit, how it will lift the heaviness that has followed you, how it will soften the edges of your heart, how it will restore the laughter you haven't felt in too long. It's about the testimony that will rise from your lips, how you'll say, "Look what the Lord has done," not out of pride, but with awe and trembling gratitude. Because it will be too good to explain, too sudden to deny, and too perfect to credit anyone else but Jesus. Let your heart rest in this truth: you are not being overlooked. You are not being passed by. Something sacred is being prepared for you, and it's bigger than a transaction. It's a divine encounter with God's generosity, His attention to detail, and His deep affection for you. Every quiet prayer, every trembling hope, every sleepless night, it has not gone unnoticed. The angelic hosts have been dispatched. The atmosphere is shifting. The weight is lifting. You are on the edge of seeing what God can do when you've given Him your everything and still chosen to trust. Type 222 if you feel something shifting in your life. There are moments when the soul grows tired, not from lack of love, but from carrying the weight of unspoken worries, long waits, and silent hopes that feel unanswered. Sometimes it's not the burdens that break you, but the time you've spent wondering if they will ever lift. And yet, in that fragile space where doubt tries to take root, heaven begins to speak softly, gently reminding you that miracles often grow in the soil of patience, not in the rush of demand. What you're walking through is not the end, it's the beginning of something sacred. Jesus has been closer to you than your breath, walking beside you, not just in joy, but especially in the quiet nights when you felt most alone. He watched over you not with judgment, but with love so wide and deep that it stretches beyond words. He saw your attempts to stay strong, your whispered prayers spoken in darkness, your courage to believe just one more day. These were not small things in the kingdom of God. They were treasures. And because of them, the heavens have moved. What is coming to you isn't a repayment, it's a gift. A gift birthed in grace, not earned by works, but received by faith. God isn't looking at your bank account and deciding if you are worthy of help. He already decided you were worthy when He sent Jesus to the cross. That's where the debt was paid. That's where the curse was broken. That's where the door was opened. And now, through the doorway of the cross, blessings begin to pour, not only into your soul, but into your life, your family, your future, and yes, even your finances. You were never meant to live in lack. God didn't design you to survive off scraps of hope or to spend your days worrying about what will come tomorrow. His heart is abundance, not the empty kind the world offers, but the kind that fills your soul first, so deeply and fully, that it spills into everything else. When Jesus fed the multitudes, he didn't stop when there was just enough. There were baskets left over. That is the heart of your Father, not just enough for you, but enough to bless others through you. This shift that's coming, this breakthrough that's drawing near, isn't a distant dream. It's already unfolding. Like the first rays of morning stretching across the night, it begins subtly, silently, and then all at once. You'll see it when you least expect it, an opportunity, a message, a door that swings wide open. It may not arrive the way you imagined, but it will come with such clarity, such peace, that you'll know without a doubt it came from God. God is not in a rush, but He is always on time. And right now, He is aligning everything on your behalf. The people, the moments, the answers, all of it is being prepared with care. What you thought was a delay was really divine timing. What felt like silence was God working in the background. And what seemed like lack was just space being cleared for something far greater. Sometimes He allows the emptiness so He can fill it with Himself first. Because He's not just fixing your situation, He's transforming your heart. You are not forgotten. You are not behind. You are not being punished. You are being positioned. God's plan hasn't skipped over you. It's just being written with details so precise, that when it all unfolds, you'll understand why it had to happen this way. The financial strain, the tension, the months of uncertainty, they will be the very evidence of how deep and wide His rescue runs. You will look back and see that you were never truly sinking, only being carried on the waters until the right moment came to stand on them in faith. Do not let fear speak louder than your faith. Fear will say, "You're stuck." But faith whispers, "God is moving." Fear will say, "You'll never recover." But faith replies, "Watch what the Lord will do." You are not here by accident. This message, this moment, this breath, it's confirmation. The kind of financial peace God is bringing you isn't just about numbers, it's about rest. Rest from the stress. Rest from the pressure. Rest from the inner storm. And in that rest, your joy returns, your laughter wakes up, your hope breathes again. Type 555 if you're holding on to faith. Sometimes the hardest part of the journey is the final stretch before the breakthrough. It feels heavier. The nights feel longer. The doubt gets louder. But that's often the clearest sign that the miracle is near. The enemy fights hardest when he knows he's about to lose his grip. The pressure you're feeling is not a sign to give up, it's a signal that heaven is pressing in. You are closer than ever, not just to change, but to transformation. Let this part of your life become your testimony. Let this chapter be the one that ends in God's glory. Because when He comes through, and He will, people will see Jesus in your story. Not because you were perfect, but because you were persistent. Because you believed when everything around you told you to stop. And because you dared to say, "I trust you, Lord," even when your hands were empty. There are seasons in life when everything feels still, almost too still, as if the world has paused around you, leaving you wondering whether God is preparing something or if you have been forgotten. Yet in that stillness, a holy stirring begins to rise, a sign that heaven is moving long before your eyes see any change. The quietness you feel right now is not emptiness but preparation, a gentle gathering of blessings that will soon unfold in ways that will soften your heart and remind you that Jesus has been guiding every step you've taken, even when the path felt lonely and dim. You have carried your worries like heavy stones, trying to remain strong even when the weight felt too much for one person to bear. But God never asked you to carry everything on your own. He has watched you push through tired days, whisper prayers in the dark, and hope for peace even when life felt uncertain. These moments are precious to heaven because they show your faith, not in loud declarations, but in quiet endurance. And it is this endurance that has moved God's heart toward you in a deeper way than you can imagine. Type 1212 if you walk by faith. After decades in government lockdown, a short 9-word phrase has resurfaced, and those who whisper it daily are experiencing miracles of money and freedom. Researchers say it switches on a hidden abundance circuit in the brain, the same one billionaires unknowingly rely on. It's easy, fast, and astonishingly powerful. Click the link before this rare discovery is censored again. There is a blessing forming that reaches far beyond what you expect, a blessing shaped not only for your needs, but also for the healing of your heart. God sees how you have tried to hide your worry to keep others calm, and how you held on to faith even when you felt tired. He sees the way you wake up each day hoping things will improve, and how you choose kindness even when pain tries to harden your spirit. These moments, though unnoticed by the world, echo loudly in heaven, drawing abundant grace toward your life. You must understand something beautiful. God is not just bringing financial relief, He is bringing restoration to the places inside you that learned to live in survival mode. He is teaching your heart how to breathe again, how to trust again, how to live with hope rather than fear. The bank account shift is simply the first sign of a deeper transformation, one that will unfold softly and steadily, like a sunrise spreading across the morning sky. God is not interested in giving you temporary comfort, He is preparing you for lasting peace. There is a reason why this season felt long, why things seemed delayed, and why the doors you expected to open stayed closed. God wasn't withholding blessings from you, He was protecting you from walking into rooms that were not meant to shape your future. He was preserving you, not punishing you. And now that the time is right, He is leading you toward opportunities that align with His purpose, not just your plans. What He is preparing will not fade, will not break, and will not slip through your fingers. The angels have been working around you in ways you may never fully see. There are spiritual battles that were fought on your behalf, victories won for you without your awareness, all because heaven knew the value of your destiny. You may have thought that your struggles went unnoticed, but God saw every moment of them, and He has prepared a blessing that reflects just how deeply He cares for you. The shift that is coming is not coincidence or chance, it is the result of God's love in motion. Your financial breakthrough will appear at a moment that feels almost ordinary, yet the peace that comes with it will feel extraordinary. It will not bring confusion or doubt but a certainty that settles deep within you, reminding you that Jesus never left your side. His guidance was present even when the path felt unclear. His comfort was surrounding you even when you felt unsettled. And now His blessings are arriving, not because you begged for them, but because He delights in providing for His children. There will be a moment when you look back at this season and understand why nothing worked out sooner. Sometimes God closes doors because your spirit is not ready for what is behind them. Sometimes He asks you to wait because the blessing needs time to grow. And sometimes He simply holds you back because He wants your story to unfold in a way that allows you to say, "Only God could have done this." You are closer to that moment than you realize. Type 777 if you feel God strengthening your heart. There is a quiet beauty in trusting God even when the future feels unknown. It shows Him that your faith is rooted not in what He gives, but in who He is. And when you trust Him this deeply, heaven responds in ways that transform everything. The blessing coming to you is shaped by that trust. It will not only meet your needs but will also bring clarity to the confusion you carried, joy to the tired parts of your heart, and hope to the dreams you thought you had lost. You have not been forgotten, not even for a moment. God has been working behind the scenes with a tenderness shaped by His love for you. Every delay had purpose. Every struggle had meaning. Every moment of waiting was part of a divine pattern designed to bring you not just relief, but a future filled with peace, stability, and spiritual strength. What you are about to receive will lift the burdens you've carried and open new doors that reflect God's faithfulness. Your testimony is being written right now. The blessing that's coming will not only change your life, it will deepen your relationship with Jesus in a way that feels personal, real, and comforting. You will feel Him near you, guiding you, restoring you, and filling you with peace that settles your thoughts and warms your heart. And as this blessing unfolds, you will understand that God's timing is never late, His love never uncertain, and His hands never empty. There's a shift happening, gentle and quiet like the soft rustling of leaves in the evening wind, and though you may not fully sense it yet, your spirit has begun to stir in response. Something within you is starting to awaken, like a small flame that refuses to go out no matter how heavy the air has been. That feeling deep in your chest, like hope trying to stretch after a long sleep, is not your imagination. It is the Spirit of God breathing peace and reassurance into the spaces where fear once lived. It's the kind of peace that doesn't come from answers but from knowing Jesus is near. The blessing that is approaching your life isn't coming because you fought for it in your strength. It's coming because you stayed faithful when things made no sense. It's coming because you whispered prayers no one heard, made sacrifices no one saw, and trusted God when your heart was aching and your hands were empty. This isn't just a season of financial relief, it's a holy return. A return to peace, a return to joy, a return to God's gentle whisper calling you back to rest in Him, fully and without fear. Type 1919 to receive miracles. There are many things money cannot fix. It cannot heal loneliness. It cannot restore hope. It cannot calm a heart that has been through storm after storm. But what God is sending you will reach far deeper than any deposit or transaction. It will bring healing into the parts of you that have silently suffered while you kept showing up for life. It will bring back dreams you thought were lost, and it will do so in a way that restores your soul as much as your situation. A secret 9-word prayer, once classified under a forgotten program, is now reshaping lives across the globe. People are seeing unexpected deposits, financial breakthroughs, and emotional peace within days of using it. Scientists confirm it rewires the subconscious to attract prosperity naturally. It takes seconds, but the results can last a lifetime. Don't delay, click the link before it disappears. God knows the burden of pretending to be okay when inside you're barely holding on. He knows how exhausting it's been to try and stay strong for everyone else. You've gone to sleep with tears and woken up to the same worries. You've had days where you prayed not just for money, but for peace of mind, for strength to make it through, and for just one moment of clarity in the chaos. Those prayers were not small to him. They were sacred. And every one of them has reached heaven. The miracle that's coming to you isn't late. It's arriving in perfect timing. And when it does, you'll see that what felt like waiting was really God protecting the purity of the blessing so that nothing and no one could ruin it. You weren't being denied, you were being preserved. Your heart was being prepared to carry the blessing without fear, to receive without shame, and to recognize Jesus as the source of it all. Because he doesn't just bless for comfort, he blesses for purpose. What's coming will not only meet your need but remind you that you are deeply known by God. It will be a moment that feels like he reached into your life and placed his hand directly over the part that hurt the most. The peace, the provision, the favor, it will all point back to him. And there will be a calm that follows, one you haven't felt in a very long time. Not because everything is perfect, but because God has reminded you that he is in control. The heaviness that has sat on your chest for too long is lifting. Slowly but surely, it's being replaced with the kind of hope that doesn't depend on your circumstances. This kind of hope is rooted in Jesus himself, in his mercy, in his love, in his unchanging presence. And even when things still look uncertain, that hope remains like an anchor in the storm, steady and unmoved. Let your heart begin to expect again, not out of desperation, but out of quiet confidence. Let yourself believe that better days are not only coming, but already forming just beyond what your eyes can see. This is not wishful thinking. This is divine promise. God doesn't tease his children with hope. If he placed the desire in your heart, he will make a way. If he's whispered the promise, he will fulfill it. You are not here by mistake, reading this by coincidence, or holding on to hope in vain. This is a divine appointment. A moment meant to reassure you that God is still writing your story, still fighting your battles, and still preparing miracles on your behalf. You don't have to chase them. You only need to stay close to Jesus, and they will find their way to you. His hand will guide what is meant for you straight into your life. Type yes to affirm. Remember this, the way God blesses you will never bring confusion. It will come with peace. It will be filled with clarity. It will not demand you to compromise your values, your faith, or your spirit. What is from God will uplift you, never deplete you. It will arrive with grace and rest, not stress or striving. And when you see it, you will know in the deepest part of your soul, it was him. The angels have gone ahead of you. The table is being set. The walls you thought would never fall are beginning to shake. The prayers you thought went unnoticed have built an altar in heaven. And now, it's time. Not for just what you want, but for what God knows you need. You are not being left behind. You are not being overlooked. You are right where you need to be for what God has planned next. You have walked through days that felt longer than they should have, carrying the weight of uncertainty on your shoulders while still managing to speak life into others. You've watched time pass and doors remain shut, wondering if anyone noticed how hard you've been trying just to stay afloat. But even in the silence, even in the stillness, heaven was fully aware. God saw every detail of your journey. He measured each sigh, caught each tear, and noted every time you chose faith instead of fear. You have not been walking unseen. There is something powerful happening right now in the unseen realm, something holy and unseen by the natural eye. Angels are moving, answers are forming, and God's favor is rising like a tide that cannot be stopped. The delay wasn't a denial, it was a shield. What God is preparing for you required time, not only to be shaped, but to be timed perfectly. If it had come any sooner, it would not have lasted. But now, the foundation is strong. Now, your heart is ready to carry what's coming without it breaking you. Type 666 if you trust Jesus. This isn't just about provision. It's about restoration. It's about redemption. It's about healing places in your spirit that became used to lack, as if struggle was all you were meant to know. You were never created to live in survival mode. You were created to walk in peace, to experience God's goodness, and to live with your hands open, not clutched in fear of losing what little you have. The shift that's approaching your life is a gentle yet powerful reminder that God doesn't want you just to get by. He wants you to thrive, to rest, and to rise. There is a whisper from heaven saying, "I haven't forgotten what I promised you." The enemy tried to convince you that you missed it, that you were too late, or not good enough. But the enemy is a liar. What God has written for you cannot be erased. What He has spoken over your life cannot be undone. The seeds planted in faith are now breaking through the soil. It may have taken time, but what grows slow often grows strong. And what is coming will not crumble under pressure, because it was built in prayer. What if 7 minutes could rewrite your financial future forever? This hidden frequency, backed by neuroscience, flips the brain's natural wealth switch, unleashing unstoppable prosperity. People are calling it the money magnet sound, and it's already transforming lives. But hesitation means missing out while others move ahead. This is your moment to act. Click the link in the video description and comments below to awaken the wealth inside you today before the chance slips away. Do not rush this moment. Let God move in His perfect rhythm. Let Him complete the work He has begun in you. There is no part of your journey that He will waste. The pain, the silence, the confusion, they will all become part of the testimony. You will speak of this season not with bitterness, but with deep gratitude. Because you will see that even the hardest days were shaping you for this blessing. They were stretching your faith, strengthening your spirit, and carving out the room you would need to hold the abundance. This blessing is not about material things alone. Yes, your finances will change. Yes, there will be unexpected provision. But more than that, your soul will find peace again. That constant pressure that has weighed on your chest, that tight knot in your stomach when bills come due, that lingering fear that you're not doing enough, all of it will fade in the light of God's peace. He doesn't want you living in fear of running out. He wants you to live in the joy of knowing He is your source. You will soon see the hand of God open what no man can close. You will watch as needs are met in ways that seem too precise to be random. Divine connections will cross your path. Unexpected answers will come. And where you once felt lack, you will now feel freedom. Not because you figured it all out, but because you trusted the one who never fails. Type 3333 if you believe your breakthrough is near. When Jesus walked among the people, he didn't just heal their bodies, he restored their dignity. He gave them back their peace. He lifted their burdens, not just physically, but emotionally. That same Jesus is moving through your life now. He is not rushing past your situation. He is stopping beside you, seeing your heart, and preparing to meet your need in a way that tells your soul, I see you. I know. I care. And once he moves, you won't have to explain it. The blessing will speak for itself. It will be undeniable. People will notice the change, and you won't need to convince anyone. It will be evident that it was God. Not luck. Not coincidence. Not chance. But the steady, faithful hand of the Lord, reaching into your life and setting things in order. Your story is not over. The chapter of struggle is giving way to the chapter of strength. What you've walked through is about to become the foundation of someone else's encouragement. Your life is becoming a testimony of what God can do with a surrendered heart. And the blessing He's about to pour out will not only lift you, but inspire others to trust Him deeper, love Him more, and believe in His goodness again. You were chosen for this moment. Not because you were perfect, but because you were willing. You didn't give up. You held on, even when your hands were trembling. You believed, even when hope was running low. And now, heaven is responding. The doors are opening. The chains are falling. The season is shifting. Your miracle is not on the way, it's already at your door, ready to enter. You've walked through seasons of deep lack, not just in money, but in energy, in joy, in direction. It's not just that you didn't have enough, but that you didn't know how to keep going while pretending everything was fine. And yet, you did. You kept moving. You kept praying. You kept trusting. You refused to let the silence convince you that God had turned His face away. And that is where miracles begin, in the place where you stand quietly, faithfully, with your heart wide open and your hands still lifted in praise, even when nothing around you makes sense. Type 1100 if you know God is working even when you don't see it. The miracle coming your way will be more than what you expected. You've been praying for enough to get by, but God is preparing more than just relief. He is sending restoration, the kind that goes beyond your finances and touches the broken pieces of your journey. It's the kind of blessing that arrives with healing in its wings, with peace in its presence, and with clarity that silences confusion. He isn't just answering your prayers, He's fulfilling His promises. You didn't choose the valley you walked through. Life brought you storms you never asked for, and losses that felt unfair. But your response, the way you kept loving, kept believing, kept showing up even when you were tired, has become a light in heaven. God remembers the moments when no one else saw your effort. He remembers the nights you wept in silence, the mornings you forced yourself out of bed, the times you gave when you barely had anything left. Every one of those moments was a seed, and now, it is harvest time. The shift that's coming to your life will be quiet at first. It won't make headlines or be broadcast on stages, but you'll feel it in your spirit. You'll notice the small things start to change. A weight will lift. An answer will arrive. A need will be met. And then another, and then another. Before long, the pattern will be unmistakable. God is at work in your life. Not because you earned it, but because you trusted Him in the dark, and He is faithful to reward those who keep walking even when the path is invisible. Let this truth settle into your heart. You are not too late, and you have not missed your moment. The waiting season wasn't wasted. It has built a strength in you that cannot be shaken. It has refined your faith. It has prepared your character. And now that your heart is ready, the blessing is being released. God's timing is never rushed, never early, and never late. It is always right, always perfect, always dripping in grace. The truth is simple: you were created for abundance, yet a dormant brain signal has been holding you back. Scientists call it the money-attracting frequency, and once awakened, it pulls wealth into your life like never before. Others who pressed play once are already transformed, living the life they dreamed of. Do not hesitate or let regret steal this chance. Click the link in the video description and comments below to unlock your prosperity now. What's about to change in your life will bring such deep reassurance that you'll no longer feel the pressure to explain your journey to anyone. The fruit will speak for itself. You won't need to justify your hope. People will see the favor of God on you, and it will be undeniable. Not because of the money in your account, but because of the peace in your spirit, the light in your eyes, and the calm confidence that only comes from knowing you are held by something greater than your circumstances. Type 1010 if you're ready to walk in what God has prepared for you. Sometimes, we expect God's blessings to look a certain way, to come through certain people, or arrive on certain days. But often, God surprises us. He brings answers through the unexpected, through places we overlooked, and through people we never saw coming. So don't worry if it hasn't happened the way you imagined. Just know it is still coming. And when it does, it will make perfect sense why it had to happen this way. You'll breathe easier soon. You'll sleep deeper. The ache that's been sitting in your chest will begin to fade. Not because life will suddenly be perfect, but because your heart will finally remember what peace feels like. The kind of peace that doesn't depend on outcomes. The kind that wraps around you like a warm blanket in the cold. The kind that says, God's got this, and He's got you too. You have given so much of yourself, often receiving little in return. You've poured into others when your own cup was nearly empty. You've shown up for people who didn't always understand your kindness. But God understands. And He never lets those moments pass without response. You're not just about to receive a blessing, you're about to receive replenishment. The kind that fills the cracks, the empty spaces, the hidden wounds. Let go of the guilt. Let go of the fear. You don't have to be perfect to be blessed. You don't have to have it all together to be provided for. God's blessings are not rewards for flawless performance, they're the overflow of His love. You are His child. He delights in seeing you walk in peace, in security, in confidence. And that's exactly where He's leading you now. No more scrambling. No more constant worrying. No more questioning your worth based on what you have or don't have. God is rewriting this chapter with kindness, with mercy, with open hands. He's not just providing for you, He's drawing you closer, deeper into a life of trust, of simplicity, of joy that isn't fragile. Heaven has been working in ways you couldn't see, and now, something sacred is making its way to you. It won't come with noise or chaos, but with the calm certainty of God's presence. Your financial situation, which has been a source of silent stress and constant strain, is about to shift. Not because you forced it. Not because you tried harder. But because you trusted deeper. You didn't quit when things got hard. You didn't let go of faith, even when fear knocked louder than usual. You kept walking. And heaven noticed. Type 999 if you've held on even when it was hard. The blessing that is near isn't just about numbers. It's about relief. It's about breathing easier without guilt. It's about being able to rest without feeling like you're falling behind. It's about stepping out of survival mode and into a season of stillness, security, and restored joy. God is preparing to bring financial peace into your life in a way that wipes away the fear that's lived in the background for far too long. This next season of your life won't be built on striving. It will be shaped by surrender. Not a giving up, but a giving over. The kind of surrender that says, God, I trust you with the parts one can't control. That's where miracles grow. Not in perfection, but in permission. When you stop trying to hold everything together and allow God to hold you instead, He begins to move in ways beyond your imagination. What's coming will be peaceful. It will be quiet and holy. It won't leave you drained. It will restore you. It will rebuild what lack tried to tear down inside you. God is not just blessing your account, He's healing your heart. The anxiety you've carried around finances, the fear of being caught off guard, the constant pressure to be strong for everyone else, all of it is being lifted. God is stepping into those places and saying, let me take care of this now. There are miracles forming around you even now. Conversations are happening on your behalf. People are being prompted to bless you without even knowing the full story. Doors are opening that you haven't even knocked on. It's not luck, it's not chance, it's God's hand. And it's steady. It's sure. It's unstoppable when the time is right. And now, the time is right. Type 4444 if you feel something beautiful is unfolding. You'll find yourself smiling at the little things again, not because your life is suddenly perfect, but because your soul is finally at peace. That's what Jesus does. He speaks peace to storms, even the ones inside us. God is placing stability beneath your feet. Where you once felt shaky, you'll feel sure. Where you once doubted your next step, you'll find open paths. He is not only clearing the way, He's walking it with you. This isn't a story of you figuring it all out. This is a story of Jesus carrying you until your strength returns, and then walking beside you as your faith begins to soar again. This 9-word phrase was once buried under government secrecy, but now it's resurfacing, sparking a global wave of prosperity stories. Experts reveal it reactivates a money magnet section of your brain most people never use. Say it once daily and watch financial blocks vanish. But this page could vanish too. Click the link in the description and comments before it's gone. Amen.